So now that we've got our app and, just kind of our home page and our login page, the next thing that we will want to do is create one of those collections. So take one of the collections that you have used in a previous spec of your app, and it's time for us to create one of those. So let's open up a new terminal window, and let's, from here, we're going to run the following command. We're going to type yo launchbox collection, and then the name of whatever collection item you were trying to create. So in case you can't currently see that, the command I'm running is yo launchbox collection cats, where cats is whatever you want to replace with your collection title name. So I'll run that command. And if we look back at our files and folders, we'll notice that there's a new directory called collections. And if we open that, we'll see a folder called cats. Also, if we go under pages, we'll see a folder called cat collection pages. So what this just did was it just generated a whole bunch of starter code for us, and changed some files and folders in two different locations. So before we dive into the code base, why don't we go ahead and fire up our app again? So the first thing you'll notice now is that we have in the menu bar up here is that we've got this cats menu item. So let's go ahead and click on that. And the first thing you'll see right here is this button that says add new cat. So let's click on that. It says add a new cat. And you could click choose file and try to upload an image with this, but since we haven't configured our AWS settings into our app yet, we currently can't. It will fail on us if we try to upload an image. So before we do that, we'll just fill out the title and the body for now. We'll submit that. And now you can see the cat object along with the body in the template here. And then we have two buttons, one that says edit this cat and delete this cat. Those are exactly what they sound like. If you click edit this cat, it will take you back into the creation UI, and you can change the various settings on the cat and then submit that. Or you can click delete this cat, and it'll be like, are you sure you want to delete this cat? And you can delete it, or you can escape out of this modal. And then if you go back to this button up top, the list of cats, it'll take you to a list of the cat objects that we've already created. So this doesn't really look that impressive with just one cat in it, but let's go ahead and add another one. And go back to list of cats. And now we can see the two different cat documents that we've created in our database right here. And we also can even have a basic sorting UI set up for this list. So if we click oldest first, it'll put the oldest ones that we've created on top. And if we click newest first, it'll put the newest ones we've created on top. So just to walk through that one more time, there's a couple components that collection just added from a UI perspective alone, right? So we haven't even gotten into the code base yet. I just want you to kind of play around with this default boilerplate and figure out what the user experience is. And here's why. It gets very confusing building these programs out, thinking about which pages link to what pages, and then after you do which actions, where should they be routed back in their app. And it's really easy to get bogged down in all those details, especially when you're building software for the first time. So what this will do is it will help give you kind of a starting point to think about how your app should work. So in this case, here's how I've said your app should work. If you have a list of cat objects, that's at the /cats URL in your app. On this page, you can add a new cat, or you can see all the current cats that have ever been created, and you can sort them by when they were created. From here, we can make a new cat, which will take us to this sort of UI, where we can add a new cat. And then notice that just happened. After you create a new cat, it automatically sends you to the page for the document that you just created. So if you come and look at the URL up here, you'll notice it's /cats and then the unique ID of that document that we're explaining. I'll get more why until we have this folder structure, but basically think, /cats/ whichever cat we're currently looking at, whatever the ID for that cat is, right? Then while we're on that page, you can edit that cat or you can delete that cat. So and if you edit the cat, for example, and then you click submit, it takes you right back to the cat that you just edited. And you'll notice when you're on the edit page, it's /cats/ the ID of whatever that cat is, and then /edit at the very end. So the flow, just to go through it one more time, because I really do want this to be clear, is when we create new cats, it will take us to whichever cat we just created. New things that are created will show up in this list, which we can sort, and we can select things that we've previously created and be taken to that document where we can then edit, or we can really change the state of that document. Now, something to note as well, if we log into our other account through our incognito mode, I think I'm already logged in. Maybe? Oh no, but you don't need to be logged in. And we go to cats, go to our cats UI. Here, you'll notice that if we click on one of these cats, I don't have the edit and delete button. Why is that? Well, there's two reasons. The first one is because you only get to see these buttons if you created the document. Now, this might not be true for everything you guys are doing. You may have documents where more than one person can create it, or there could be a team or something like that. But for the most part, there is no... For the most part, you don't want one user to create something and other users have permissions to change that document. Usually you only want it to be allowed to be changed by whoever created it. So that's the default functionality here, and that's why I can't see, with my other account, I can't see the buttons. So if I had created, I'm actually looking at the wrong cat here, but it's the same point. So if I had created this object, I'd be able to see the buttons. Now the second reason this first account can see these buttons is because he's the admin. So the admin has special privileges, and he can still, or she can go in and she can change any of the documents at will pretty much throughout the app. So be very careful with your admin account, and keep in mind that when you're testing as the admin account, because you might see stuff that's a little bit different than what a regular user would be seeing. All right, so the one other thing I should comment on as well is that this list right here, this list has a feature called infinite scroll. What I mean by that is that if we had 50,000 cats in our database, it wouldn't crash our browser by trying to load them all at once. We could scroll through the list, and whenever we got through 20 or so cats, it would then go and grab the next 20 cats to show us, and then the next 20 cats if we kept scrolling. So it won't ever become too heavy for the browser to view. So that's a really important feature to know and be aware of. So play with this for a minute. Make sure you really are understanding all the different pieces of the UI. Try logging in as different accounts and creating documents on each of them. And from there, after you've done that, then it will be time, once you feel comfortable, you understand how this basic collection UI works, we'll start diving into the code.